Okay, so we're live. So welcome back to Milton on Card podcast. Today we're joined by ReeledIn, and we will be. What's the title of the video, Phil?
I ain't elitist, so don't make me one.
Right. So there was a lot that went on in this episode of Invincible. Who wants to share their thoughts first?
Well, in honor of Grayson stepping up, I got the I got the background because he went hard. He went hard in the paint. I was very satisfied with his performance.
He was.
Yes, I was.
Go on.
You know, I'm a Grayson enjoyer, and yeah, bulletproof took his time.
I think there was so much that went on in this episode, right? Yeah, it's like they really packed a lot into this one because you had that chick that was ciphering on off the energy.
Mm.
You had the stuff that was going on with Eve and her powers. You had the sequoids thing. You had seen like all the overwork that all the heroes are having to do to clean up the planet after the events of last season. Um, yeah, Oliver growing up, well, being a little bit more older than that, but still a teenager. There was just a lot that they packed into that one episode. I felt, and
Mm.
yeah, like for me, I started thinking to myself, do I actually like Mark Grayson as a character? Do I actually like Invincible? And I don't know, like I think I've just been watching it and obviously I don't know his character and stuff being like the main dude and that. But as to like, do I actually like the character? I don't know if I do or not.
I like I like Invincible. I like him a lot more this season
Mm.
because he was just putting in work. And I've always liked Grayson. I've always liked Mark as a character. He tries to do the right thing. He's to me, he's like a cross between Peter Parker and Dick Grayson. So he's like right up my alley. Everyday man, just trying to do the best thing, not getting consumed by the mission, trying to have a actual life and still relate to people in his social circle. I like him. I like him a lot. So
Do you think that
interested
what?
to find out why you don't like
I
Invincible.
was in there for a second.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm like I don't know if I like him or not. But the thing is, though, I do in hindsight respect the arc that he's been through because just thinking about it at the beginning from when he got his powers, he was very naive into this whole good versus evil and we're the superheroes and all of that kind of stuff.
And
To
it's
like,
been non-stop.
yeah, but to how he's had to. I mean, I don't know. Would you classify his actions at the end of this episode as him maturing? Because it seems like his younger brother last season was where he's at now.
Can I just cut in there for a second?
Yeah, go on.
So, just to catch up, in my opinion, in the way that it's going, I do agree with Phil where I like how the character arcs are going because my main gripe with Invincible is the fact that like they don't, how do I say this? They don't really tackle the elephant in the room, which I feel like is the Viltrumite War until like later on. I mean, all of the characters they do introduce are nicely written out, and I am generally interested. But like, it's getting up to this point. It's getting over the whole like everything else. Just kind of feels like a side quest. Like commenting on the Sequid thing, they hinted at it in
Itching
the end
us.
of the last season, right? And then it popped up, and it was pretty much just over in one episode. Like, I know
Yeah.
they can't spend it like too much time on it, but that seemed to be like a big like thing because they were saying, oh, if one of these things get out, that's the whole planet gone, right? So if you're gonna commit to that, all like, well, go a bit all in. Or another point would be when they had that post-credit scene with Damien Darkblood, which I don't know when that's gonna come up, but if it does, it's like again, it takes away from the thing that, well, personally, like I want to see when they do the space stuff. It's nice because it shows you that like the world and there's more going on out there. And I'm looking forward to see more to where it's going. I actually did watch on ahead, but we can get to that when we get there. For the time being.
Piggyback.
I feel like the all these things that you're saying is like a side quest and stuff. I kind of feel like they're not put in there by accident. I reckon they're all these
I mean,
other.
I get it because it has shown off like his growth, right?
What?
It has shown off his growth, but it has shown off like his growth. I'll admit that. I'm not saying they're not unnecessary. However, it's like based on how much we've actually seen, the overarching threat is the fact like the Viltrumites are coming. It's kind of like when the Saiyans came to Earth for the first time and they had to train for like they've more focused all of their time or most of their time on that to get them ready. Now it's nice to see that like, there's probably other stuff going on in the background which I can't quite comment on yet because I don't know if you guys have actually been that far ahead.
They're world building. They're world building, but what the issue is balance. Like
yeah, that's a better way of putting it actually.
It's getting to a point where it's kind of like the same kind of issue that Star Wars has, whereas I'm like, yeah, I like other sects and factions, but fundamentally, I'm watching Star Wars for Jedi. You understand? So I'm watching Invincible for Viltrumites, and all these other side quests are cool, but I don't want too much of that because you might as well put Machine Head back on TV. Do you see what I mean?
That's and he is a serious character, and that's probably gonna take up in like another episode or two at the very least because of like the way he's like handled.
Yeah, but I don't know what was it? The Invincible War. The Invincible War should have been 4 episodes, and if it's not 4 episodes, you should have just made a separate OVA or actual.
That's exactly what I said. Like that was 1 episode, wasn't it? I'm like, that should have been that could have been 2-part easily.
It took the whole budget. You could tell it took the whole budget, and it was nice, but it was too short. It was far too short. They should have done a special like the Eve special, or they should have skipped the Eve special altogether and just done that. And I do like Eve.
And you know, it's almost like they've spent so much more time on the cleanup after the Invicble War than the actual freaking war. Because you know what? If they had made that a bit longer, we'd actually feel the taxation of their burden of cleaning up after it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? But in terms of this episode, like what was a highlight part for you, Malik?
My highlight for this episode is literally where it picks up, because I like the fact that it just feels that we are just thrown back into the world, like what's going on, or that we don't usually. Most shows or like common shows, not to comment too much on it, like Stranger Things, for example, to pick up where they're going on, they would just do like a 2-year time skip, but that kind of kills the momentum of where we're at versus where we should be. So, like you said, when you see the fatigue and them cleaning up after like the whole thing with Conquest and the Invincible War, right? And you can see the stresses of how, like, okay, you can see the stresses and how people should be. Like, take Mark, for example, when you comment on his character. I do like his character or where it's going, and I like the fact that he is a bit more
jaded.
I don't know if cutthroat is the word, but like more so he's more not inclined, but he's willing to go the distance, if that makes sense. Like with how the episode kind of ended. Well, of course, he is still human, and I don't mind it. So I don't mind it to where like, okay, he's having doubts and so forth, but in this universe, it's where the fascination, there's a reality to being a hero or to having power. You have to make the tough decisions. Like Spider-Man, you said he's like Spider-Man. with great power comes great responsibility. He had a
Yeah.
choice. He could have probably waited, and
Well, he wouldn't
I
live
don't
with
know,
it.
the
He'd live with
barrier
it if
could
it
have
went
held.
wrong. Yeah.
But then if it didn't, then that's his family gone. Like everyone else, there's no.
Yeah, but you say that, right? Yeah, but at the end of the last season, he said straight away, if anyone makes me feel like they're threatening the life of my family or my friends or whatever, I'm not gonna hesitate to kill them. That's what he said, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
Right?
but
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 through this episode, he's still fighting to not do that.
I
Right.
know.
Because
But
he's
in
not a
saying
killer.
that, I feel like he should have been at this point before then. There was a certain point where I feel like he should have already been there, or maybe some during the third season. But for some
Yeah,
reason, it just
but then that makes his lecturing of Oliver hypocritical, then, doesn't it? If
Yeah.
you think he's
no, because
already been there doing that, because to me, it's like Oliver already knew the script from the flipping beginning before Invincible did. That's how it seems to me.
Yeah, but Oliver's
I
not
disagree.
human.
There's a difference because one, as his big brother, okay, the point he was the lesson he's trying to teach Oliver is you can't just use your powers to go around killing people or just can't
Yeah.
abuse your powers, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, we can take Caesar for example. He will only do the hard decisions or go like the darker route if there is really no other option.
Yeah, but
At the
like
end
the
of the
more the
day, they
twins
are
were,
heroes. It's not like I'm
hold
supposed to be
on.
killing every villain I see. They're not, like a
Mm.
Yeah,
vigilante.
but the Mauler twins were launching a nuclear weapon, right? So by your logic, Oliver killing them was justified then,
Exactly, because like I
which
said, heroes at
makes
the end of the day are supposed to save people. Even the villains sometimes. That's what makes them heroes, right? You only
I mean, I wouldn't
it's
go.
like how do I say this? It's like you only I'm trying to think of another example.
While you think about it, I'll
Okay,
give my opinion.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Not killing makes you likable. Yeah. Let's
Mhm.
let's let's come out of animation and media and go into the real world. Special forces and even regular military personnel, they kill. A lot of them don't enjoy it, a lot of them don't like it, and a lot of them don't get thanks, but they're still considered heroes. You understand?
That's a good point.
They're still considered heroes. When they come home, their family and a lot of the general population will thank them for their service, as they should. Yeah. But what the problem is when civilians are confronted with the violence and you see what it takes. Like like sometimes you see people go back to the Caribbean or to Africa and they watch meat being slaughtered and then they turn vegetarian. They were fine eating the meat when they didn't see behind the curtain.
that's interesting because like you say,
Yeah,
like
it's
even
kind
on
of
like
like
the international level, right? You might see remember like last year when in the White House the Zelensky and Trump was arguing and that the backlash
yeah,
was the public was like, oh, we don't expect to see a display like that, but that probably happens behind closed doors with
behind
world
closed doors.
the time.
But
Because otherwise, how
another
would
thing,
it get done?
yeah, I
Mm.
mean another thing as well is the case. So from the very beginning, we all have an idea what a superhero is, yeah. So it's someone who saves people, like Spider-Man, Superman, right? And the fact
Punisher.
that they are able to hold on to the moral, or like, particularly Batman's like no kill rule as well, because
Yeah.
he feel like if I cross that line, then I'm probably gonna get addicted to it or keep going till eventually, like I'm probably no different from them. Another example is like Light from Death Note. He uses killing, he kills, right, to get the criminals off the street. But in the day, it gets to a point where he starts to develop a complex, and that just becomes his first and like his that becomes his first and like main resort, which isn't okay. Because at the end of the day, he's now killing dozens and dozens of people. You can't. even if the Moors were going to do that, which, well, they almost did, right? As a hero, like I said, it's your job to find to be not to find the peace away, but to find a way to where you can save as many lives as possible, even if it's the people who don't really deserve it. That's what it's about. Now, just to touch on my previous point, because I don't want to get too far away from it. From the very beginning of Invincible, when he wanted to be a hero like his dad, and Oliver also wanted to be a hero like Mark, they're fascinated with the glory, like, oh, that he comes also saves the day, but they don't see what it takes to go behind the veil, like you said, what's behind the veil. Where, okay, man, Doc Sizemo, for example, is about to take out an entire orphanage, and I have to choose whether I can save him, save myself probably, or take him out. And that's the decisions you're not really. What's the word? Yeah, like I said, it's the morality. It's the morality of it, right? It's what makes it interesting, if that makes sense. And it's
Yeah,
the morality that is what separates
Interesting.
them from just being
And you
heroes
said
who.
something. You said something interesting about getting a complex. And let's think about there. How do you have a half Viltrumite like Mark, who's stronger than like anyone around him, who's going to live for many more years than anyone around him? How does a person like that not get a complex?
That I feel like comes to the whole nature of us. Like I said,
yeah,
initially in the previous season, my only problem with him hesitating or him being the way he was, right, was the fact that I feel like he's aware of what's coming and what it's going to take to beat them or what he has to do, but he's still not willing to be there, right? But I also kind of feel like him having to deal with that or grow or develop just comes from the fact that he was raised human, right? Which
yeah,
is natural. He has a morality. He has morality. He knows what's right and what's wrong, which is something that Omni Man didn't really have because I can't really say. But basically, you understand, like Viltrumite culture. It's this might makes right. The strong survive and the weak perish. That's why when he tried to turn Mark and he was like, "Oh, when I see this planet, right? He doesn't see them as people. He just sees them as like resources or livestock or cattle to just be used to fuel the Viltrumite war machine." Or, for example, when he's talking, he didn't mean it, obviously, but when he's talking about Debbie, he's like, "Oh, I don't see your mother as a person. I see her more like a pet." But that's not human. That's not a human response. And
Yeah, but then
again,
he went to the Fraxon planet, and I don't think he looked at his Fraxon wife as a pet.
he
yeah,
actually
but
He
that's
seemed,
because he
he
spent
seemed to
time on
be,
Earth.
he seemed to be booed up with her.
Yeah, because
he
he
was
spent time. Right, because
Yeah,
he
but how
spent
much?
time on Earth. He
Yeah, but
learned
how
what
much?
it was like.
Yeah, go
Go
on.
on.
he was
Yeah,
booed
but
up
that
with
was the point. He learned what it was like to be human, to have a moral compass, to go against like his nature, right? And if he didn't have that, he probably would view the Flaxens like if he went to Flaxen first. He probably might potentially view them the way Viltrumites naturally do, as just another resource, right? But
Yeah,
because he
maybe.
spent so much time, he had a kid, and like with them, with humans, that's the that nature or that development stuck with him. It was so impactful to Omni Man at the time that he was practically ready to fly into a black hole. It was eating away at him. He had to do something to kind of make atone for his sins and then kind of begin to shed that like old mindset completely. He'd already done it, like he's already doing it subconsciously because that's why he couldn't kill Mark or he couldn't go through with it or
That's
whatnot.
interesting,
Like,
because I reckon all double agents go through that at some point.
yeah, because I
Probably.
feel like if you keep telling yourself something, I think what's the rule? If you keep telling yourself something, eventually you're gonna start believing it, right? But to him, it just started to embed more and more in his psyche to where like, yeah, this just isn't me like anymore. Because when do you remember? I think it's the Atomy special, or it's the
Mm.
previous season where he shows Mark. Mark goes to like a baseball game when he's a kid, and he's like, "Why am I here? Like, this is a waste of time." And then Debbie's trying to tell him, "Well, it's your son. He just wants you to be here, and it's the little things, even if he doesn't win." And then as Mark hits the ball away, and he goes for like a home run, Army Man starts to get more excited, but then he hides it, and then you can see in another instance, because I don't want to go too far off because on topic here, in the Adam E special when they come home, it's young Mark, Debbie, and then two of them go off to bed, and he does a thing where he tries to be angry, or he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be here. This is pointless, or whatever." But he's like, he stops, and he's like, "I can't pretend anymore." But then he just kind of goes on, and that just shows how like deep in is, like you said, as a double agent, because now probably at that point, if not before, he's starting to believe it. Like he can't keep up with it to a degree that he feels like he should because of how he was raised. But again, nurture
He's
versus nature.
domesticated.
Um,
Once you have a family, it happens. Like,
yeah,
and you only need to watch movies to see it all the time. These cold-blooded killers, as soon as they have a family, they want to retire. They want to spend time with their family, and the only thing that can get their blood boiling again is if you kidnap them or you murder their family. It happens, and that's what happened to Omni Man. Okay, he had to punch up his son at first, but
he
you
wasn't
know,
gonna kill him. He
once the
couldn't do it.
adrenaline wore off, he couldn't do it.
No, he couldn't do it once he said to him, after all these years, I'll still have you, Dad. That blow, when he heard him say that, that blow flipping, that blow hit him harder than the hammer did, in my opinion.
And that's the fastest way to flush adrenaline. You know what I mean? You're all hype, and it's like, like again to reference other media, when people are shouting and the partner or the child is like, "Dad, Dad, Dad, Dad," and then they catch themselves in it. So that's what happened. That's what happened with
All right,
Kind
so
of want to touch on a. See, also there's more to it, but I can't say because I.
all right, okay then. So since you can't say, let's just part that for 1 second, the Viltrumite stuff for 1 second. Atom Eve's dad, what the hell is his problem, man? Really?
bigger man who can see it. Who knows
Huh?
who it is.
Weird because it seems like he's trying to care, but he's also just being a dick about it for just
Just for the
because.
sake
Like,
of it.
I don't
Like,
think he's trying to care. It might look like that, but I don't think he is. He don't like Eve.
it's like he doesn't like her.
Yeah, he don't like her. He doesn't like anything she does. He doesn't
he
like
doesn't
anything
like
she stands for.
superheroes. Basically, he doesn't like the fact that his daughter, air quotes, right, is a superhero, but at the same time, he has that sentiment of like, oh, I love her, and I'm gonna try and protect her, but he just does it in a way that's just not. He just does it in a really fucked up way, like not even fucked up, just a really just weird way that like it's almost too much. Like even from a writing, I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
because it's like he's got some real like venom about it. It's like, well, what do you want here? Because she moved away, right? Set up her own thing, blah blah blah, and that. But there's still some way for you and your wife to still try and like be in her life some way. Like it's either, and she's not even their biological daughter. So once she turns of age, which she probably is by now, because Mark's in college, like they could just let her go, but he's still in the
All in all,
choosing to be around her.
He likes
see,
control, and the wife wants
as
her in her life. Remember?
was just about to comment on her as well because she's supposed to be the quote unquote good one, but she's almost just as bad, like in a way. Because all the stuff she was saying to Eve, like afterwards, about oh, I'm not sure if we'll see how long Mark lasts, or I think he's made like other comments to where I saw was it I think it was the previous season. Oh yeah, one of Eve's friends from when she was a kid died or something in an attack. I don't know which one. I think it's right.
Yeah,
But the thing she thought was, oh, I'm so glad it wasn't my daughter. Like there was no, she didn't even have. There's no like care. Like it's almost kind of sociopathic in a way, or
Yeah.
just detached.
yeah.
But
But she's definitely the husband is definitely domineering, and she's very much submissive to it. Like when he came back inside, he's like, "Our show's on," and then she was like, "Okay, then
running along with it, like
put the gloves down immediately and followed him in." Like in a different world, for all we know, this dude could be like a certain wig wearing person that has a very strange relationship with his daughter, and the wife could be, abused. But we don't see that because obviously it's they probably don't put that in there, or it's inferred, and they don't want to cross boundaries and make it harder to air. But do you see what I mean? Like there's something wrong with that relationship between
Well,
the
yeah, it
husband and the
makes
wife,
yeah,
as well as towards Eve.
but it makes me wonder where it's going because,
Just
like,
like it doesn't need to go anywhere. It's just they're side characters. You can't put everything in anything, otherwise it's gonna meander forever.
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. And like I said, I don't like I said, most of the characters are very well written, and I like that they get fleshed out a
Flushed
bit
out.
more. But we only have so much time. I feel like in a season, and we don't like. I know the next season got greenlit, which means by the end of this fourth one, the 6 and 7 will probably or are already probably in development. Well, in development, but in the process.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
All about to be greenlit.
have they said that there's a 6 and 7?
No, but
5 got greenlit literally at the same time.
Oh,
And
so
so I
five.
don't think we're gonna get through the rest of the Viltrumite stuff. Well, with the main stuff, right? In the next by the end of this season or the next one, we'll probably get like deep into it, like into maybe a fair way into it, but not the entire thing. Especially if they're gonna do like, oh, what's going on with Damien Darkblood? Um, Rudy's.
Ancient.
Oh, whose character arc are we gonna go look for the next? Like, well, who's the villain of the week? Mark's gotta like fight. Like, are we gonna deal with Titan again? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's too much. Like, it's too much to fit in so little time, and especially with how they release the episodes. Like, it's nah, it doesn't. I don't know. It just seems kind of unlikely. Like Philip said, if you are gonna do that, just make some spin-offs or like some side stories because you have the material, you have enough stuff there, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna watch it, even from like a business perspective, which means you're just gonna make more money or build up a bigger viewership. Um,
Okay.
you know,
All right. So another plot, another subplot that was on there was the Guardians and Cecil saying that we need Team to come back as the Guardians and stuff. And I think Rudy's trying to like make a little play for being in charge. But I'm not quite sure how that's gonna go down because it's almost like they put that grey haired dude, the Captain Britain looking dude, over them as a way of like holding them back a bit. But Rudy went
really,
and did that side mission, right, which he wasn't supposed to do, and ended up getting himself teleported back to the Pentagon or wherever it is that Cecil works. And I don't know if that's going to count towards. I don't know. Maybe it's too soon to say, but it'd just be interesting to see how the Guardians are gonna go back under Cecil, especially after how they know they can't trust him.
well, field leaders never want a demotion.
Sorry, say that again.
Field leaders or any leader anywhere never likes a demotion. So he was always going to expect to lead. And what Cecil said was right. You abandon the team. You have to earn the trust back.
Hmm. Well, he didn't abandon the
In
team.
saying that,
He didn't abandon the team because he worked with them to help Invincible. What they decided to do was not work with Cecil.
Yeah, but as well,
Wasn't it Rex's call? Didn't Rex make that decision?
it was Rex's, and they all followed along, like one for all for one. But in saying that, like the whole, he should be a leader. I'm a little bit surprised that the Guardians didn't make that as part of their conditions, because who is from on the original team, who stayed behind after they all split? It was a Shake Smith, Brett. No, it was Shake Smith and Samson, right?
It was all the older guys that stayed behind. All the young guys went with Mark, didn't they?
Yeah, but Duplicate left because she went to go retire with the Immortal, and they're going off doing whatever. And it was literally just those two. And Samson, I don't know, man. He seems he's starting to become more and more. Maybe it's too harsh, but a little bit more like a doormat. Like he's just too.
Yeah, it's like he's a redundant character now, isn't it?
Yeah, he just goes along just with everything just because this person is just older, right? But for this team, I feel like they need a leader they can relate to, and that was who the leader they used to. That's who Rex / Rudy is for them, which is why again.
But Samson was the leader before Battle Beast bust his head. In season 1, he was the leader, wasn't he?
Yeah, and that was just a house person.
Yeah.
You can see like they have more chemistry in terms of leadership with Robot Rudy, because he was the original leader before, and it's all the original members of Team. So like why, and especially why are they all just going along with just following Brett? They don't know Brett, as far as I'm aware, but they know Rudy.
Yeah, and they know that Brett's been put there by Cecil.
Yeah, exactly. Just as another way to kind of be like a quote unquote, don't want to undermine. They don't want to. So that they won't undermine him, basically, which is what the Immortal was for them actually previously.
But see, the thing is, do they actually need? I wonder if they actually need a team because Tech Jacket's out there doing stuff by himself. Heck, I thought that business baby was dead, and I saw him jumping around.
I thought too, because I thought he got crushed by the other guy.
That's what I thought. But anyway, as time's ticking away, we got to get to like the main bit, haven't we? I mean, what we saw at the end of this episode was when Conquest woke up.
Again, my God.
And I'm like,
happened, wasn't it?
It
was always going to happen, wasn't it?
It was. But it's like, what?
It was too soon. It was unnecessary.
It's got to be like the thing. I don't know, man. It's so ridiculous that it's almost out of character. Like it's pretty much out of character actually for him to just do that. Not Conquest, for Cecil, because you saw what he did.
What was that?
You're aware of what Mark is capable of, and you just kind of expect, like they can barely keep one Viltrumite down, and yet they thought that all of this was gonna suppress him. Like, come on, dog, come on now.
But really, but you know what really hit home for me was the fact that the Viltrumites can regenerate like that, which I should have always known anyway, because if we seen like Mark's beat down at the hands of Omni-Man, my dude was losing teeth. His face was all strangled and that, and
all torn up and stuff.
Later, he's
like chest caving. Like they were recovering quick.
His face was a plate of mashed potato, man.
Yeah,
it was. Lost teeth, everything. But the thing is, are they his own teeth or are they implants?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Real teeth.
Implants won't grow back. But what makes me not understand it though, in terms of the regeneration, is the fact that he's regenerated to how he was, how he looked before his fight with Mark started, but he can't regenerate his arm.
I think it just depends because I think when you get older, because he said the older you are, the stronger you are. So I'd imagine the older Viltrumites are able to recover from a lot faster, probably. Like Conquest got his head caved in, like literally, and he got fried. But yet, even despite all that, like he managed to still more or less, resuscitate himself. Well, not resuscitate himself, but come back. But I think if you put Mark in that same situation, he would have been dead. I'm pretty sure everything that he did to Conquest would have just killed him because Conquest is breaking his limbs and
Are you sure?
whatnot.
Are you sure it
And like,
isn't
Yes, yeah, I don't know
the
about
ma-
that, mate.
Are you sure it's not the magical human gene? You know, like in all media, when alien species mix with humans, that it unlocks their full potential and they're like better than pure blood.
I mean, it could be that as well because he did mention like humans are so compatible that they're almost exactly like pure-blooded. Well, if you put them together, they're almost like pure-blooded Viltrumite. But again,
Media.
I think it also relates to a point that I can't quite pick up unless you like catch up to where the the most recent episode ends off.
Well, 3.
But it's a spoilers. It's a spoiler basically, but I'm not gonna spoil you.
I'll try and watch them all tomorrow. But what was I say? Yeah, listen. If Conquest comes back to Earth, Mark is gonna move to him.
Mark's
He's
gonna
not
what?
gonna move to him.
Mark is gonna move to him because he's got it's personal, isn't it? It's beef.
If Conquest comes back to Earth, right, I think that's it for like Cecil and Marshall, like whatever quote unquote relationship they got, because obviously he's gonna ask him, I killed you, how would you come back? And he's like, and then he's gonna immediately think, there's no way. But the last time he saw his body was in the GC, uh, the
Oh,
base.
hold
The
on, hold
hero.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Mark said
If
dispose of him.
Conquest comes back to Earth, if Conquest comes back to Earth, he's not coming back alone. Because they're gonna be like, the Viltrumites are gonna be like, "Rah, we just sent one of our top heavy hitters, and he couldn't get the job done. So why are we sending him back on his own? They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back with more."
Mark is gonna tuck him in. There's gonna be bare man's fighting, and Mark's gonna look for him specifically because he's got a bone to pick with him. He's got beef.
Was Mark aware
He's
that?
gonna go straight. He probably will go straight for him, but
got
I feel like it's also gonna cause a lot more, like, whiplash or backlash for Earth as well, because now Cecil promised me he's not gonna keep secrets. He's not gonna do all this shit, and this is probably the biggest thing he could have. Probably the one of the worst things, if not the worst thing he could have done. Since
Did Mark know about? Mark didn't know that Cecil kept Conquest.
No, because he found it. He said, "I want to see his body," and he saw him in the body bag, right? But after that, he just assumed he was just dead. He was just done.
Well, that's what Mark gets for not being thorough, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want him to do, man?
Burn the body, innit?
But that's not him.
He was dead, I think, for the most part. I think. Well,
Mark doesn't do cleanup.
He doesn't.
So, that's how them other things are reanimated. Mark destroyed these things. Cecil collects them and turns them into cyborgs. He was probably going to try and turn Conquest into a cyborg.
Who?
Another thing, because he also doesn't know about the invincible reaniman either, which is also another thing. But
he doesn't know about what?
I think they're gonna try. Well, I think what the season is shown is like they're gonna try and ease him into it, or be like, okay, well, because he knows Sinclair is like working for the
Sorry, start your thoughts from the beginning.
Yeah, start your thing from the beginning. Didn't he fight them Cybermen when he fell out with Cecil the first time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So he knows they exist.
He knows what exists.
The reanimated
Reaniman, but he doesn't know about the invincible reaniman.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. he collected some of the Invincibles.
Oh snap! I completely forgot about that.
So did I. Yeah. But yeah, when he says no more tricks, that is after he gives him the earpiece. Anything before that, do you see what I mean? Because he wasn't working under him. Anything before that, he can wave it away on a technicality. He's like, hey,
Does Cecil have a choice? Cecil doesn't really have a choice about how he operates, does he? Really?
he does have a choice, but those are you choose based on your predisposition. And his predisposition is, can I repurpose things to work for me?
Yeah. When he was taking the villains on and be like, can I recondition them to work for me? But here's another thing, right, which also doesn't make sense with his character, right? He constantly reminds, he's reminding Mark, oh, you are the most powerful person being on this planet, right? And all it could take is one bad day for you to like snap and do whatever. But he keeps making stuff that would give him that bad day. Like, or he keeps doing stuff that would, like, I wouldn't say justify a crash out, but like kind of would probably make him crash out.
Yeah, he's a I can't think of the actual word, but he's a control freak. He wants like Lex Luthor wants all the power. Yeah. Cecil's similar, where he doesn't necessarily want to be imbued with all the power, but he wants to control all the pieces on the chessboard.
He wants to have a way to at least counteract it. If it's like having an ace in the hole, basically.
Yeah, he wants a James Gunn Ultraman.
Do you think he's justified?
I don't, but at the end of the day, he's shook. He don't want another Omni-Man where it's literally I depend on you and you do whatever you want. And then if you decide you don't like us, you can smash anybody I send to you. If Mark didn't exist, Earth would have been under Viltrumite control, and that's it. And that's it from one person. Not even an invasion. And his whole thing is, I need to protect the Earth and all this kind of thing. But you can't protect the Earth from one person. You're gonna try everything you can, especially if you're a control freak. You're gonna try everything. Oh, all these people gave Mark a run for his money. If I had an army of all these people, then Mark isn't a problem to me.
And then, like, with those Invincibles, they aren't even as strong as him. Like, I don't think they're relatively close. And I think as he goes along season by season, I feel like there is definitely like a growth in his own strength. And with the Reanimen, I feel like they're capped. They can't train. They can't get any stronger, right? Unless they're probably like, given cybernetics or some other sort of like.
They're just autonomous, aren't they? They just they don't think
flesh,
do they?
Right? It's like because they're zombies effectively. But even then, like I said, it's just how many times does he have to prove he's here to defend the Earth for you to not trying to push him to do things to where you know what, today I don't feel like defending the Earth, and it just keeps going. Like, imagine if this Viltrumite war the Viltrumites come to Earth, yeah. I don't know how far it goes. I looked for this part, but as a theory, if he starts dropping Viltrumites and he's showing Caesar's just gonna pick up the bodies and just make more like contingency plans for him. But it's like the more he keeps pushing him that way, the more it's inclined to it's justified for him to suddenly turn on him.
And that's the paradox of life, though, isn't it? Like, you're afraid of somebody crashing out, but you keep doing things to push them.
Yeah,
they do. It's then what? Like, I don't know, because you're not really exactly justified here, but you're gonna tell yourself, oh yeah, this is exactly the reason why I did the thing I did, but it was never necessary. It was never necessary to begin with.
Remember we had a
Well,
discussion before when it was like when you had to fight the animated things in the first place because Mark wanted to talk to him and he kept pushing him.
Mm. Yeah,
I
he
can't
kept
remember what he
escalating.
wanted to say. He
It,
kept
it was
goading
like the
him.
way that escalated was just like, was it really necessary? But then it kind of revealed that something was this. It was weird, isn't it? It was like
to
one
a
of those ones.
degree, because to a degree, I can see it then to where it's like, okay, yeah, it's getting a little bit too much. But after that scene and they had the quote unquote reconciliation, I can't really justify any of it afterwards, you know, because it's like if you tell me don't drive your car, yeah, I know we're probably going round and round on this one. It's like don't touch my car, don't drive my car, don't do this, right? After you've already crashed it once or wrecked it once, and I go do and we've agreed and reconciled, and I do it again, like what am I supposed to say? Or what are you supposed to really do in that instance?
Mm.
Because then you're just breaking my trust. And there doesn't seem to be like the trust doesn't really seem to be mutual, and I don't feel like it may ever will be mutual at the rate that this is going or progressing. But
You
yeah,
can't blame Mark, but by the same token, they they both want to protect Earth. So
they're just trying to do it in their own way, I guess. But I don't know.
sometimes it might be necessary to work together for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 months. You understand? And then you go your separate ways. But Mark's a better person than me because I would wreck that facility, and then I'd say, listen, you depend on me whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, by doing that, Phil, you're then even giving Cecil more of a reason to do what he does.
Yeah, he's gonna do it anyway. He's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I don't.
so
Yeah,
do you understand? So it's like you. Some people, I'm trying to think of some Spider-Man, for example, right? People just always get on him and cause him grief. And he's like, look, I'm just gonna get up, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep doing what's right. Yeah. But some people are just gonna be like, all right, cool. We're gonna do things on my term now. Do you understand? So Mark's a better person than me because I
Mark.
would, yeah, I would veer closer towards Oliver and Nolan's way of doing things.
And that's another thing as well. Yeah, the position that both Oliver and Mark are in is the fact that eventually one day they're going up against their father and their father's people.
I don't think they're going up against their father.
I think they're going up against
Well,
Omni-Man,
well,
but
in
they're
terms
going
of
up against his
well,
people.
well, from as far as they know, or as far as they've left it, they don't know. They don't even know if Omni Man's alive. Oliver, does Oliver even remember his father? Probably
He
not.
wants to, man. He worships him.
There is a scene where
Yeah,
he's
but
like
he's
he
heard of
remembers
him,
when
but I don't know if he
Oh,
remembers him.
sorry. What? Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Oliver
Because he
is
was
what
an
I'm
infant,
talking
wasn't
about. He
he?
was
What
a
was I
kid.
thinking?
there's
Yeah, he was an infant.
there's a scene where he's like, I used to remember my dad used to fly me around the palace or whatever as a child, as a baby, which
Mm-mm-mm.
is a thing they did say. So I feel like he still thinks of his dad in a positive way because when he found out what he did on Earth, he was like, that
Yeah,
doesn't seem like the person I know, right? And he
Mm.
always wanted to try and redeem his father for what he did, even though it's not really his place. Not in like a bad way, but it's not his place to atone for his father's sins. It's up to his dad. And going forward, that may just be where that probably is, or may just be where Omni Man's own character arc goes to what he's like doing. Because after he broke out of the prison, he's grown. I think he's more inclined to help Alan or to side with Alan because that's his friend, and he's a more human now. Yeah. But if it does come to it, I don't know. It may just be just another repeat of how Omni-Man acted on Earth when he got found out in regards to the other Viltrumites, but we won't know unless we see it, innit? Because it's the elephant in the room. It's another thing. Come back to the elephant in the room. Are we gonna see it? When are we gonna see this? You know.
I need.
We got time, man. It's only the start of the season, so there's gonna be
This
a lot.
time we got time. We got time.
I need the Omni-Man redemption arc. That's what I need. He doesn't
I
need
feel
to
like
be like.
it's gonna be good.
Nice. I just want to see him win some fights.
Do you? Oh, so when you say redemption, as in redeeming him back to kick up like Omni-Man, bad man, Omni-Man, or you talk about redemption as in atoning for his sins?
I don't care
Be
if he
atoning
atones
because
or not. I don't care. I want to see Omni-Man beasting. That's what I watched the show. That's what I watched the show for. You can't show me. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure it was episode 1, but someone correct me. Yeah, the very beginning of Invincible, he murks off the Guardians of the Globe or whoever they were. Yeah, that's the high point of the show. You might not agree, but I feel some people agree with me. That is the high point of the show. You need to get back up to there, and that's what I need. I need Omni-Man. If Mark does it, then fine.
So when he was fighting those Viltrumans on Thraxon, that wasn't him beasting. I think that was.
Yeah, it was hard.
I think that was him going back to his roots.
Look how long ago that was. We're on season 4, episode 1. I want to see that today.
Yeah, I get
it. That's what I'm watching it for. Are you watching it to see Mark flying through pink octopus, or Eve washing dishes?
No.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the main story. That's the main story stuff I want to see. In essence, I mean, it's not always just about the fight, but like I said, we're not gonna get that unless we see what's going on with the Viltrumites and the Space Federation in it.
And I don't care. And you know what? If you needed a story arc for Debbie to move on and be happy, cool. Well, I don't need to see Debbie and that dude. I like Debbie, but I just don't like seeing that dude. So get them off the screen time. Yeah.
but you know they're setting up that dude for flipping. They're setting up that dude so hard.
I don't know.
The way they got that dude set up, man, it's just like, mate, he ain't walking away from this.
No. Don't believe the hype. You're gonna be disappointed.
You always get that thing where it's almost like Rex in the last season. Oh, everything's just about to go well. We're about to go off and start a whole new life again. And next thing you know, they drop the fucking hammer on my man Rex.
No. Trust me.
Because the thing about this real estate dude ain't got no business being there.
He doesn't. He's gonna survive. Trust me. Mark's friend. Do you know how quickly I thought he was gonna get murked off? He's still there. Now that I've mentioned him, he's probably gonna take up a good 15 minutes of episode 2.
I don't mind William, man. I think he's a James character. I think
ex-girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? Like, all right, we know you've got friends, innit?
Yeah.
We know you've got friends.
Yeah.
But in the word of Stephen A. Smith, I'm here to tell you, we don't care. We don't care.
Yeah. All right, then. We're almost approaching the hour. Is there anything else we want to talk about with this episode? We've got 5 minutes left. Any things you
want to touch on the dinosaur stuff?
Oh, flipping heck, I forgot about that dinosaur dude.
The dinosaur dude.
So,
Forget the dinosaur dude. He was just a precursor to what Mark did to the alien dude at the end.
What
So-
about that? What about that
before or
energy?
after?
What about
Yeah,
that
Happened
energy?
before or after? Because
That's
he said, "No,
yeah, I was about to say who had the better right cross, Eve or Mark, because that girl got sparked. She got
Yes.
sparked clean out.
He
But
got dropped.
I think
nah,
Eve, I got
because
Eve
if
on
we're
that one."
closing out, I think we should concentrate on the punch that
I think
that Mark hesitated on throwing.
against the Dinosaurus.
Nah, against the alien dude.
Against the energy chick.
No, against the alien dude, against the octopus guy. Was it
With the
justified?
Sequid, the guy got taken over by the Sequid.
Yeah. Was it
Well,
justified?
Was it justified?
You all know what my opinion is.
You know what went through my head as soon as he did it?
Say again?
Do you want to know what really went through my head as soon as he did it?
Yes.
I was like, see, he is just like his old man.
no,
That's
that's not an argument thing, though.
Straight through my head. He's just like his old man.
Wait,
I
but
know
you
my
can't.
response is delayed, but I'm confused. How?
Because it's a cold-blooded murderer, isn't it? Like, what can you say? Well, nah, but like, I don't know that it was fully necessary.
And that wasn't even.
I think
And another thing, when they were in Paris, Nolan and I believe it was Paris, but you can correct me, and Debbie, and he flew through that dinosaur. Nobody had a problem. Anytime,
so.
and this goes for anyone, Captain America, Iron Man, this goes for anyone, Superman. When they kill non-humans, it's not a problem. People only get
When it's
upset
human is a problem.
when they're human or they look human.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is that you don't.
Well, I think
You don't like.
if it's
When it
a
was a dinosaur, no one said nothing. But once
yeah,
it
but when
changed
it's
back,
a dinosaur, are we talking about a dinosaur that is just primal in its instincts and its movements, or are we talking about someone who is sentient?
we don't know. What we do know is
They are considered sentient. You just mean like of a human intelligence.
No, yeah, just like
it's
like
not
they know, like a dinosaur doesn't know the difference between good and evil. Just like a lion doesn't know, the difference between good and evil. They're just being, aren't they?
We don't know that. What we know is what humans consider moral.
Yeah, because this is like human standards. But again, that
Which is
comes
what
back to the thing.
Nolan standards aren't our standards.
Yeah, but they're still shocked if someone like if Alan got twists up and stuff, that was still, he's not human, but that was still like, oh, flipping out, man, look what they did to him.
Yeah, because
He's human enough, like he
personality,
has human qualities. Well,
yeah.
what is considered human qualities, right?
Yeah.
In regards to the punch itself, which also comes back to the whole, you said, he should, if whether you disagree. Well, when Oliver killed the Moller twins, you said like, oh, he was doing his job. But honestly, with Mark, the differences between that instance and this one is that, yes, Mark only did that, right, because it was too much of an uncertainty to just let it go, right? And I think the real beauty or kicker is the fact that we as an audience will never know if it was truly the right choice, because one side says the barrier would have held, other side says the barrier is at 1%. Like it's not going to hold for much longer. So what do you do? And
but
that
you
is
know
the
what's
crux of being the hero.
Right, but you know what's going to answer that question?
What?
If going forward it becomes easier and easier for him to kill.
That's
No,
the difference. Yeah, again, that would probably
Mark's
make him a bit
personality.
more like his dad. But at the same time, like I said,
We're talking about
that's
saving. We're
when
talking about the problem at hand. If that shield didn't hold, that would have been it. Forget what's going forward. That's the problem that you kick down the road. That's a can you kick down the road. Yeah. That's does he become more and more volatile, and does killing become easier for him? That's not the question for right now. The question is, was he justified in killing that dude to stop the spread of the octopus? I'm sorry, I can't remember what they're called, but the octopi. Do you see what I mean? Because if he didn't hold,
probably
and then another thing, because
Why
adding
couldn't
bulletproof to the mix,
why couldn't he separate that guy from the insectoid thing?
we don't know if it worked. We don't know how long it would take.
Yeah, but
one
they picking them things off
it wasn't
them.
just him though. It wasn't. Remember, they had to bring a device that was specifically designed to get them off of the people, and
Yeah,
all of his stuff was broken, and the only
Mm.
person who had one that was functioning was bulletproof, but bulletproof wasn't
get them.
guaranteed to get to him in time, and that's why he did it. Because that's a part of the reason probably why he did it. Remember?
We don't know that he even heard when they said get him the thing. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know if Mark even knew bulletproof was coming.
Yeah, all he knows is that the shield was at 4% integrity and going down. That's the only certainty. We knew that there was 4%. How long does 4% last? We don't know.
How long's a piece of string?
Exactly. Like, does it is it a compounding effect? Like, is it 1 minute from 99 to 98, and then it's 30 seconds from 10 to 4? We don't know. All we do know is he had a choice to make. He had an undesirable choice and a more undesirable choice, and he took the one that he felt was certain.
I don't think it's just the
See it
case
down the
of does
line.
it become easier. It
Yeah,
becomes not if it's just easier. If it becomes easier, but is he gonna start enjoying it? Right. That I think is also
That's
another
why I said
level.
you got to check it as what goes on from now onwards. Is he still going to hesitate like he did for this dude? Because he still did think about it
Still
before he did.
has yeah.
Yeah,
it's
he
not his
did
first
still think about it before he did it, or is he just going to be? Well, they shouldn't have been out doing crime. Oh well,
yeah.
they shouldn't have been doing this.
But another thing is, going back to my, it's not a problem as long as they're human. If if he's going around killing dinosaurs, killing anthropomorphic creatures, all that kind of thing, people aren't going to get upset. But if he goes around killing super powered human like individuals, then people are going to be upset. And then it's the, is he enjoying it? Black Panther kills. Black Panther kills. No one says nothing.
Mm,
Do you know
I'll
what I
have
mean?
to- yeah.
I don't think he
Remind me again then, because I've forgotten this. What was it about that particular dude that killing him stopped it? Because they were separating them things from other people, and the chaos
He
and
was
that
the
was.
main it's a hive mind, but I think he's the main receptor or the thing. Like he was the one coordinating it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he was the brain, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, right.
the main host.
Okay.
And he was the
Right.
last one. Because remember, because Rex 2 got all the ones down below, well, as far as we know. And he was the last one. So as long as one was connected to him, and he was controlling the rest of them to make him the large size, that's what was controlling the pushing the thing. So,
Okay.
so that's why it was, he needs to stop that one, and that's what was important.
Mm.
and you had 2% to work with.
Yeah.
Would you risk it?
Would I risk it?
Yeah.
Probably. Probably not. Not if I didn't see another way out of it.
Right. So now
His
that
issue.
you've admitted that, would you enjoy it?
I don't think I'd enjoy it.
So what makes you think you'd enjoy the next one?
No, but it just depends on. It depends, isn't it? He might be high off the power of doing it. I haven't done it. He has.
It's not his first kill.
But you can. He's
No.
hesitant.
No,
It's not
but
his
other kills was in the heat of battle. This
He's only killed. Or
he
who else
grabbed.
has he killed?
But he knows what
that victim white woman, didn't he?
he knows what murdering feels like, and he
Yeah,
doesn't.
but I don't call. Yeah, but I don't call that murder. If that's killing someone, but it's not murder. If you're in the blaze of combat, and it's kill or be killed, self-defense, that sort of thing, I think that's different to I'm gonna go out and I'm really gonna enjoy killing this dude, or I'm premeditated to go and do it. That's a different mindset.
He's had enough battles where if he had that inkling, I'm certain we'd start seeing it now already.
I feel like he has already had a bit where he's shown, or he's demonstrated, or he told me that he's trying to hold back, or he holding back.
I think a part of him is scared of his own power.
I think all of them scared of his own power.
I think
he doesn't want to be his dad.
He's not. Yeah, but yeah.
But at the same point, that's what his character is built on, right? He doesn't want to be his dad, but he wants to protect his mum and his brother and his girlfriend. So, how far do you go? Understand? That man's like, oh, if I kill once, I'll enjoy it. That's you, yeah. There's plenty of people that kill. Crying free man, that's a deep cut. Every time he killed, he went home and cried. He didn't enjoy it. That was his job, and he was very good at it. He didn't enjoy it at all. So
as well,
just because you kill, it doesn't mean you enjoy it. And
no.
Again, just because you're capable, it doesn't mean that it's your first option that you pick.
Yeah, but I mean, before, we don't know, but in those other timelines when Omni-Man went to those other marks and told them who he was and what their real mission was, and that, a lot of them enjoyed it, didn't they? They enjoyed the killing, the suffering, the terrorizing of the other people and all of that kind of stuff.
They're all different in that aspect.
Yeah. Sorry?
They're all different in that aspect, and that's not our mark. Plus, the whole thing where he doesn't want to be his dad. I feel like we're past that point as well. Because most of the world still sees him as just another Omni-Man, right? But I think it was through season 2 and 3 he had to come to peace with the fact that, like, if I'm not willing to go the distance that my enemy or these Viltrumites are gonna go, then that's it. It's game over. Because remember when he went to the Flaxen planet and Omni-Man was trying to tell him, look, if you don't come at these people like you're gonna kill them, you're gonna die. And he was until he hesitated, and that almost got him killed. And then
Nolan captured in the first place. Mark hesitated.
Nolan dropped his guard, and the guy he thought he killed came back and broke his back. That's what got Nolan messed up.
See?
He was when Mark was fighting.
Hanging around humans do that to you.
Wait, what did he say?
No, it's not like it's not like Omni-Man hesitated because of some sort of compassion. He thought he had killed that dude.
Yeah, but if he wasn't talking to Mark and doing whatever, if he go back 5 years or however long, before he had the fight with Mark, he would have been much more ruthless. He wouldn't have thought he killed the guy. He would have made sure.
Yeah. So
He was in a
he was.
conversation with Mark. So the whole time he's fighting, Mark is on his mind. The same way when Mark was fighting Conquest, the whole time he was fighting, Eve was on his mind. You understand? He told her to get lost so he could concentrate.
Yeah. He had to jump in and go and save Oliver. Like Oliver almost went out like the worst way. But yeah, not to go too far off because we're already like an hour and 10 in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so wrap it up
like you said, Omni-Man in that instance just doesn't that. He was trying to teach him because the whole point of Mark also coming out, part of it was to train him to be more like a Viltrumite or fight like one. Because when Mark finally got kind of used to it and he was fighting the girl, he was beating her up for a bit and then he stopped because he tried to use mercy and she took advantage of that. And then Thing had to come in, and that's when the other guy who he thought he killed came in and broke his back. Or thing, and that was that. But
so with the final punch today,
yeah,
this week or whatever, all that's playing on his mind. You can't keep giving these people second chances.
That is what makes. I feel like that also is what makes this universe so like interesting because it's so it's gritty. It's the grittiness of that. Like you have to just you could really get gone in the worst way. Like
They don't.
But one thing I will say, but one thing I'll say about that Sequoids guy, he wasn't doing that of his own mind.
That's why he hesitated though to do it to begin with. He didn't do it, but he knows that they're all being controlled. But like, he's got no other choice. What else can he do? It's a trolley problem. I can run over one person, or I can run over 10 people. And which one are you going to choose?
Or you can sit back and watch the whole world burn.
And with that, I think we're at time now. And unless there's any final things that's burning that someone really wants to say,
Mark was right.
We'll see.
Feeling very. What am I saying? No, it was a pretty good episode of. And then I would like usually that's the point where we have like the Invincible title card.
Oh yeah.
It ended with I'll give it a thumbs up on the
right. So quick question. Should we do for next week, should we do episode 2 and 3 so we catch up, or should we just do one episode at a time?
I'd say do 2 and 3. In my opinion, I want both of you to catch up because the third episode has a lot of lore, quite a significant amount of thing. And if episode 4 picks up exactly where that left off, then it's probably best that that's all I can say. I can't say much else.
So this week will be episode 4 then, won't it? Then if they've already done 3.
Yeah.
So if we watch 2 and 3 this week, at least, then at least for next week, we'll only be a week behind.
I mean, at this point, maybe
I'll still watch 4 on the Wednesday. Also,
how likely is it that we'll catch up?
Well, I probably can't watch it until the weekend anyway. So, and at the weekend, I could probably get through 3 episodes.
I'm gonna have after Wednesday I got 6 days off. So if you want to do the recording between then and then like the end of Tuesday,
we could do 2 episodes in a week. You mean?
Well, I said I'm up to date as outside of the newest one that's coming out. So it's just when you want to record, whenever between them days, if you want to go record again.
All right, we'll discuss this offline, innit? Because people don't need to know our details. All right, then, cool.
So
All
are you gonna upload this to ReeledIn, or you send it to me, then I'll put it on channel?
I'll work it out.
All right.
All right, then I'm gonna end the stream there. Yeah.
All
Right, cool. Night, peeps.
You can't to each
Yeah.
other.
Let's go. Have a
Keep
good
it
night.
mint on. Keep it mint on card and stay reeled in.
Oh yeah, I like that.
All right. See, I'm trying to end this.